There's no single way to swing, and unfortunately, swing mechanics conflict. For example, you can find successful players on tour with strong grips and weak ones, as well as ones who swing outside in while others move inside out. The goal is to try out options with 10 balls on the range or 9 holes on the course and find ones that match your body type and tendencies. What feels good or your natural approach is important because contrived moves fail under pressure. Ultimately, your swing may be orthodox or unorthodox. Jim Furyk's loopy move has won more tournaments than the picture-perfect one of Adam Scott. So conventional or unconventional can be effective. Learning swing theories will help you manage your swing coach. Have you visited more than one instructor and been surprised that they teach diametrically opposed technique? Every teaching professional has a different approach. As a student, you need to push them out of their comfort zone and find what fits you. And you'll know when you found your natural swing motion because it'll give you a good feeling inside. During practice sessions, we encourage you to video your swing. Video feedback is helpful because it shows the difference between what you feel you're doing and what's actually happening, or feel versus real. Often there can be a big gap. But remember, video isn't everything. Swing forces and torques play a big role in your swing, and they may not show up on camera. For example, if you watch a tug of war, the person losing appears to be moving toward the opponent. However, in reality, that losing participant is scratching and clawing with every bit of strength while pushing in the opposite direction. Like our tug of war participant, many golfers appear on video to be pushing in one direction, but they're actually moving in another one because of the turning motion of a golf swing creates an illusion. They're holding themselves back by applying forces and torque in the wrong way. So you should occasionally take a lesson on a pressure plate. You'll get good feedback on whether your pivot is effective. And finally, here's how you get 15 minutes of free coaching. Fill out our player profile so we understand where you are in your golfing journey. Video face-on and down-the-line views of both your pre-shot routine and overall swing. Placement of the camera for the pre-shot routine need not be precise. Just be certain everything is in view. Video of the swing is different though, as camera placement is vital. Incorrect angles can distort what's happening in the swing. For face-on, please set the camera waist high at the right angle so it's aiming at the center of your body, really at your belt buckle. For down the line, set the camera at waist high, focusing on your grip. Then just send it to us for analysis. Your first 15 minutes performance coaching is free, and there's no obligation to purchase anything. You have a good golf swing in you, and our job is to help bring it out. Your natural tendencies will always work well unless they've been suppressed through unnatural manipulation, or they're one of the few things that golfers can't do from a biomechanics standpoint. When thinking about the golf swing, you need to remember that you're playing with angled clubs with differing lengths and lofts, and they're suspended from your hands. Once you understand the nature of the tool, the neuroscience in your mind will automatically develop a motion that generates speed in the club head so the ball flies toward a target. Really, swinging a golf club isn't much different than swinging a hammer to pound in a nail. The eye assesses the tool at hand as well as the objective. And then the mind develops a way to use the tool to accomplish the desired result. The first time you picked up a hammer, did you spend hours adjusting your grip and thinking about hinging your wrists to generate power? I doubt it. Instead, you grabbed the handle comfortably in a way that would allow you to swing. You focused on the objective of a solid contact, and you let your brain handle the rest. And my guess is that you still grab a hammer the same way you did the first time. And your hammer swing will always be identical. Yes, the golf swing is a bit more complicated, but the intuitive motion is what we're looking for. When you feel the freedom and rhythm generated by your natural swing, you'll have something great that repeats effortlessly. I started Sharp Focus Golf because I saw too many players implementing whatever someone said on the internet or working for long periods of time on swing mechanics that weren't right for them. Our goal is to find what's innate for you and what fits you. Rhythm and tempo are often forgotten parts of the golf swing as instructors and players focus so much on positions. But golf isn't static. Amateurs swing up to 90 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. Without good rhythm and tempo, you're going to play poorly. Ask the best players in the world. They'll tell you that their high scores almost always occur on the days when they lack timing. Rhythm is generated by muscles sequencing in a smooth fashion. Rory McIlroy is an excellent example of a flowing, rhythmic swing with great power and a high degree of accuracy. But on the other hand, poor rhythm is often caused by a grip that's too tight, so you lose feel of the club, a backswing that's too quick, causing your arms and body to get out of sync or even knocking you off balance, a critical shot where adrenaline flows and everything speeds up. Tempo is really swing speed. You may have good rhythm, which as I said is muscle sequencing, but swing at a different pace. Think of the relatively slow swing speed of Ernie Els versus the fast one of Ricky Fowler. They both have good rhythm, but different swing speed or tempo. Poor tempo is almost always caused by a breakdown of the turning motion of the body and shoulders and too much use of hands. As you sync up everything for rhythm and tempo, there are a few things to remember. Big muscles are easier to use, more powerful, and they function more consistently, especially under pressure, than smaller ones. But the two often need to coordinate, like the ones in your shoulders and in your wrists. Gravity plays a significant role in the golf swing, as your arms normally weigh about 5.3% of your body weight, or 8 pounds for an average 150-pound person. There's resistance in the backswing and help in the downswing. Rotation in the golf swing creates centrifugal force as the golf club orbits around you. On the upside, this force generates speed, but on the downside, upper and lower body movements may be hard to integrate. Ground forces generate power. Your pivot should load down into the ground and then you push up. Some players actually jump, but whatever you do, you need to be aware that the ground can help you hit the ball further and sometimes a lot further. But on the other hand, you don't want the ground force jarring your swing. Your golf swing should play out smoothly and continuously like a musical composition. And remember, tight, tense muscles are slow, wobbly ones that move at an erratic pace. With respect to rhythm, hit shots on the range with a 3/4 backswing and a 3/4 follow through. Or swing at 50 to 60% of normal force to feel better tempo. Try counting on the backswing, such as 1, 2, 3, go. If your backswing is smooth, there's a good chance your downswing will be as well. Pause at the top to gather yourself for a downswing. Hideki Matsuyama does a nice job of it, but you can develop your own approach. I've actually had students tell me that they were pausing at the top, but both the video and swing pate analysis showed otherwise. The key though was that they thought they were pausing and it produced a trigger for smooth tempo. So do whatever works. In terms of tempo, use your unique footprint of speed. Continuous motion and rhythm will drive good tempo. In the final analysis, stay relaxed and let your brain play out the symphony of body movements in continuous and smooth ways. Players often get confused by inconsistencies in golf instruction. For example, there's weak grip versus strong grip, bowed left wrist versus flat, head still versus floating, jump at impact versus feet grounded. And the reason you may hear conflicting advice is because there's at least one tour pro successfully executing each of these opposing moves. The key from our standpoint is to try out options for a short period of time, 10 balls on the range or 9 holes on the course, and find swing mechanics that feels the best. And to start the process, we need to look at the 4 swing planes. There's an on-plane swing, an over-the-plane swing, an under-plane swing, and a mixture of them. The on-plane swing is really a baseline because there are very few players who can execute it. It's just so difficult to keep everything on plane throughout the entire swing. And it's probably not a good idea to try because some aspect of it likely will go against your natural tendencies. Players like Adam Scott and Tiger Woods early in his career have come close to really anyone to a repeatable on-plane swing. But they're both highly talented athletes who worked at it all day, every day. You're probably better served fashioning something different that fits your tendencies. For our purposes though, the benefit of an on-plane swing is that it serves as a model for understanding components of overplane and underplane swings and how they can cause slices and hooks as well as fades and draws. You can watch hundreds of quick fix videos on the internet about correcting a slice, but the only way you can straighten it out permanently is to understand the plane of the club and the angle of the club face as they approach the ball. A slice comes from an open face as you come over the top of the ball, and a hook comes from a closed face as you attack the ball too far from the inside. And of course, swing plane is super important when you need to curve a shot intentionally. So let's use a neutral on-plane swing as our guide to point out causes for the club to move under or over plane. We mentioned that it's very difficult to have an on-plane swing all the time, but the closer you have your swing to being on plane, the easier it will be to problem solve when things inevitably go awry in your swing.